I feel like I had to make this video because of the recent mental block I had of my life. And I had to really question like my purpose, my own value, and why I'm doing all this. And I feel like, you know, that with life is too short to just be reminiscing on the past and to be consistently envious of others who already found the success, but it took them a different path than yours, and whether it was facilitated towards them or not. And as frustrating as it could be, it's just you can't focus on that. You can't focus on that envy, So it's just you got to understand that your life is orchestrated the way it is meant for you. And life is weird. It can be funny at times, and it could be hella frustrating. But it's just having to find the resilience within yourself, within your character, time and time again. And with those lessons of your past, you use that to build your character. I look back and I regret a lot of stupid things I did, and I wish it could have went a hell of a different ways. But I didn't let that become a burden to me. I let it construct of what I needed to do or what I needed to change. I questioned myself, did I change? Did I change? And after having to be constantly reminded about how not everyone's gonna like me. And I look back to how I once was to where I was far more timid, far more anxious. I felt like I had to put on a mask every time, like put on like a filter every time I met new people. So then they wouldn't feel like that every time they would encounter me, I would be a burden to them. And with that, I stopped. I learned to shut that away from my life. I learned that that wasn't going to serve me well. And I'm forever grateful that I did. Because if I didn't, I would have been enslaving myself to another set of standards to where I was just never going to be realistically be able to live to. I was going to constantly pressure myself over and over and over again just for the sake of what? Someone else's uh someone else's standards of me, how they want to perceive me, and that in order to live up to their perception, I gotta follow through their checklist of what they believe is their way of life. And life don't operate like that. I believe that there's a set rules that we should follow. I believe that we should still follow through the principles of the morals, good morals that we set out for ourselves. Because without it, oh my God, we wouldn't even be in check. I feel like if we truly had free will to do everything, I mean, I feel like we'd be letting hell unleashed. We would be unleashing hell. We'd be unleashing hell upon this earth. And I feel like it's a good thing that we have these morals to keep us in bay. I remember this one take I heard from this person where it's like, well, morals is just a concept, so why do we follow them? And that's my exact reason. I mean, it doesn't require much to be just a kind individual, really. So why waste all that energy just to hate on someone? I can't imagine just my life, just I wake up every day this dude, he really aggravated me this one day. Like every single day, I'm gonna think of something to where I can make fun of him. I can hate on him. I can try to demean him, remove his value of life. I'm just trying to do this. I'm trying to do that every single day. And it's just kind of like, what benefit do I gain? It doesn't serve me anything. It's not moving me forward in life. I'm wasting energy on somebody who I'm not even in close relation with. So it's just, I don't know. And I go back and it's just like I question why, people had those perceptions of me, why they hated me and all that. And I felt like, maybe I wasn't changing for the better and I was just staying stagnant with how I was. And it's just that I learned that there was definitely aspects of my character that I needed to change and that I did change. And that even for people who still want to hate on me, that they only have the initial perception of me and only had gotten to know me on a surface level to where they haven't even gone past that. They haven't learned the depths of my character and what my history, my past has done to have like built me to where I'm at right now. So it's just I can't allow it to get to my head. I can't allow it to weigh in too much of how I need to perceive myself. So it's just something with that. I felt like it was crucial to where if I didn't get over that hump, I would have been consistently overthinking myself, consistently trying to over perfect myself to where it just wasn't life. And with life, there's so many beautiful things, with nature, with your bonds, with building your relationships, evolving yourself to where you would have never thought that you could have ever have achieved before, and sorry, learning to value who you were with your younger self. And that, like, when I look back, I'm like, I used to feel so free and like I didn't have to think about nobody, about how they judge me. I mean, yeah, I was anxious, but like my friends helped me. They helped me feel not so abnormal, with the nerdy interests. And like, even though we were goofy, like, and obviously just, not of the ordinary, like, it didn't matter. I was able to just be who I wanted to be and feel the utmost comfortable with that. And I and with life, like, you gotta relearn to find that comfortability once again. And like, and that's like the funny part of life, you have to relearn lessons to where you never thought you would have had to. You think that like you've learned a lesson and so it would just like adhere to you. It would just like, it would just be binded to your mind, but yet there's people to where they throw you off track and then you have to remind yourself of who you are again and again and again. So it's just that. And another part of life to where I understood to what made me really value and admire the people who I look up to is the fact that like they kept going and like they didn't let nobody tell them like no for the answer of what they want to do for a life. I mean, you look at people within like the athlete world, the artist world, every career, and there was somebody or a group of people that just doubted that person, but they kept going, even despite how psychotic they had seen at the time. They did it. I mean, like the things that we see that we is like deemed as impossible, someone was able to do it, and that's what's so inspiring from these people. So it's just kind of like, who am I to give up over with what I want to do with my art and my aspiration of wanting to become a positive influence? Who am I to stop myself now from wanting to create? You know, I feel like I'd be killing more of myself if I were to give up on my path towards art. I can't do that. I mean, of course, like art isn't who I am. I'm more than my art, but still, it's a huge part of me for me to express and for me to, to to learn with. It's just like there's so much value with art to where like I can listen. This video could be an hour long, but that's not the point of this video. It's just a reminder of what I need to do and what I have to do with continuously disciplining myself to being more organized and being able to strip away that negative thoughts that I once had, and that with who I once was is who I am no longer, and that with my life I'm gonna keep making mistakes. I'm gonna keep, you know, finding new ways to just have flaws appear and again, you know? And it's just learning to evolve from my flaws and to allow for what the mistakes that I've made to have existed, and to not allow that to just stay so anchored within my mind. There's nothing I can do about the past, but there is something I can do for my future, and that is to not continuously hold myself to being a burden to even myself, and to acknowledge that the people who aren't here anymore within like the personal range, they aren't here for that reason. And it's that so then they're not draining me of what I want to do. That's how I look at it. And like the things, the people, I mean, that aren't here no more, like aren't here no more for a reason. And the things that are here are also here for that reason too. And it's to build with my life. And like I could keep repeating the same things again and again, but it's just I don't know. I didn't make this video of a script. I just wanted to just, give my perspective and my thought process on my life right now. So yeah, don't live your life knowing that you couldn't achieve the main thing that you've come to realize that was your purpose. Don't let it be the burden within your life. Or better yet, I guess you could say like, don't let it be the burden within your mind. And hold on, I'm trying to figure it out. How to figure it out. Don't let it be the burden of your soul. So this was just a quick video for me to conclude the video. I'm sorry for the poor mic quality. I'm recording this just from my phone's mic because I lost the adapter for the Bluetooth mic I had. So I'll get one soon. But anyways, that's not the point. The point was that I realized that I kind of understood more of what I was trying to say at the end. And that what I meant by like, don't let it be a burden on your soul was just that, with life, I feel like, there's so many ways where we try to discourage ourselves from the big things we want to try and do. But I feel like, the worst thing you could do is to stop yourself from reaching to that big goal to where it becomes a burden on your soul, to where like for the remainder of your life, you just end up thinking like, I wish I could have done that. I wish I could have, gotten that, what I had wanted to achieve within my life. And then, I just feel like for you to allow that weight to be on your soul is the worst thing that you could try to do. So I feel like, not every goal will be easily obtained. Every goal will be met with obstacles. But at least try to get the big one that you've been working yourself up to, that is within your range of opportunity of what you're able to achieve. That was what I was trying to say. I don't know what will be in store for my life, but I know that if I keep going, that I don't have to keep letting my doubt stop me from what I'm trying to do. So that's just what I wanted to say, end the video with. So that's all.